Hello, everybody. It's Friday. I'm Stephen Carlson. Let's do a support call. Allowing a few more people to join the call. It's good to see you all. I'm going to start the call with a group release. And the topic is one that's actually quite dear to my heart, which is this letting go of the urge to prove yourself. So many of us work as freelancers, creatives, writers, marketers, coaches. These are all fields where, well, many of us feel the need to prove ourselves. And that's because we're continually judged upon our performance. Now, speaking for myself, I've founded several businesses. I've worn different hats. I've changed careers midstream, not once, but several times. And yeah, I've had my big wins and I've had my losses, but I have quite a few stories to tell, and none of this matters. Truly, even today, I feel that need to continually prove myself, as if all the things that I've ever done are just not quite good enough, not quite enough. So I invite you to explore this topic with me, see if there's anything in that resonates with you. Just notice what comes up. When you think about your work, your reputation, how people see you, how you feel approaching the next job, the next interview, the next client. And just notice what comes up. Notice that sense of, I need to prove myself. I need to show them. That sense of, I'm not yet fully qualified. Just notice how all that appears. And check and see. Does this come from a desire to control? A desire for approval? A need for security or safety? Or even a desire for oneness or separation? And also, it could be more than one. It could be all of the above. Whatever comes up for you, could you let that go? Are you able? And would you let that go? Are you willing? When? Take a breath. So behind all of this is a feeling, a desire to get it right. The sense that there is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. So notice that feeling of pressure to get it right, not make a mistake, not slip up. Notice that desire for perfectionism. And notice how it feels in the body. Notice any sensations, constriction, discomfort. And open to that as best you can. If it's there anyway, wouldn't it be smart to just give it permission? Notice what's happening in the head. Notice the memories, the thoughts. Notice any kinds of images and sounds. Whatever is there, could you allow that? Again, if it's there anyway, wouldn't it be smart just to give it permission? Not forever, just for now. And then notice how much you want to change that, make it go away, or even hold on to it. Maybe that's part of your identity. So just notice any desire to control, any resistance to what is. No, not check and see. Does it feel personal? Is this all about you? Is this a reflection of who you are? Is it you that everybody's watching and judging? And then all of what came up, could you let it go? Could you? And would you let it go? Are you willing? And take another breath. Of course, if you're setting yourself up as an expert, somebody who knows something, and really that's what we do, a lot of us, freelancers, creative, knowledge workers, doesn't that set you up for criticism? Doesn't that set you up for judgment? Just notice how that feels, the sense that others are waiting to judge, waiting to criticize. Notice what happens in the mind. Notice what happens in the body. That sense that others are standing in judgment, eager to point out your mistake. You just notice how that shows up. Notice how it feels. Notice the body in particular. The body is so useful for showing us how we feel. The body is the literal expression of feeling. And notice in particular this core of the body from the neck down to the groin. See if there isn't a feeling in the solar plexus. You know where that is, don't you? I'll just step up a little bit to show you right about there. Below the breastplate is the solar plexus. In my experience, that's very much involved with all of this, but it may not be for you. Just notice how your body shows up with that feeling of being judged, watched, criticized. And since that's what's happening, apparently, would you open up? Would you allow it, give it permission just for now? And then check and see. Is any of this actually you? Are you those feelings in the body? Or are you that which is aware of the feelings in the body? Are you those thoughts? Or are you that which is aware of thought? Are you the witness of thought? Play with this a little bit and notice that shift in perspective. Is any of this you, or are you that which is aware? Just for a moment, could you rest in this awareness and just allow it to be? Allow yourself to be. Allow all to be as it is, just for now. And now, let's do an experiment. See if you can notice also a feeling of enoughness. Is it possible that everything is whole, complete, enough, just like this, just for now? Would you be open to that possibility? I'm going to say that again slightly differently. Could you be open to the possibility that you are enough? You are whole, complete, and enough, just like You may not know everything. Is it possible that you know enough, that you are enough? And if there's any no, could you allow that? Could you welcome that? And what if even that doubt is okay? What if that doubt is also whole, complete, and enough? And just for now, even if it feels a little bit iffy, could you open up even further? Could you allow all to be as it is? And just for now, could you rest in that isness and allow everything, allow everything to be as it is, including yourself, including your client, including your work, including your job, including your career? What if all of that is whole, complete, and just like that, just for and that feels like a good place to stop and invite Mary to unmute and say hello.
Hello, Stephen. Thank you. That was brilliant. Just a brilliant way to start. It resonated on so many levels. I didn't even realize I needed that. So thank you. Thank you for that. I would love some help just releasing on some really painful and scary body sensations and the fear that they're never going to go away or get worse. So that's where I'm at, or where I'd love some help with this morning.
Well, sure. Okay, Mary, is that all here right now?
Yes, it is.
Sensing that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So could you open to that?
Oh, it feels really hard this morning to open to it because I woke up, that way.
Right. Well, it's the opposite of what we naturally want to do.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But this might help you. Since it's here anyway, could you turn to it?
Oh, that's a beautiful way to look at it. Yeah. Yeah, I could.
Are you still alive?
Yes, I am.
Now, that may seem exaggerated, but that's the actual fear. So, could you open even more to whatever's being experienced in the body?
Yes, I could.
Mm-hmm. And remember also breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. Good reminder. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, notice something else. What's being experienced is an intensity of sensation. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Does it have to be good or bad?
Don't suppose so. No.
Oh. Okay. Well, so if it's neither good nor bad, could you just allow it like that?
Oh, that's really helpful. Yeah, I could.
Great. Great.
Yeah, it's a great reminder to not look at it as good or bad.
Whatever we're feeling in the moment is really just the intensity of sensation. All right? That's what the body is all about.
Right, right.
But we choose to give it an interpretation. This is a bad feeling. This is a good feeling. I like this. I don't like that.
Right.
But you have a sense of how arbitrary this actually is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're willing, could you turn it all around? What if what's being experienced in the body is terrific? Don't expect this to make sense. It doesn't have to.
Right, right. Yeah. It doesn't feel terrific, but
Well, but even that's an interpretation. What if you allowed yourself to feel this as ecstasy, as welcome, as what if you've been waiting all your life to feel this?
Well, that's an interesting point because I've actually told myself I've tried to get more curious, and just go, okay, what is my body trying to tell me here?
Yeah.
You know what? And I've just started doing that, and that's helped a little bit to go, okay, it's just my body. It's just trying to tell me something, and it's communicating with me. So, yeah, not necessarily. It's just saying, yeah, I'm here.
Right, right, right. Well, so here's the situation. We spend most of our lives avoiding these kinds of feelings, right?
True. Yeah.
You yourself, as I understand you, because we've worked together in past, I know that health problems have been an issue, right?
Right. Right.
Well, okay, so it may just be that every once in a while, Mary wakes up with an intensity of feeling, right?
Yeah. It's daily.
Well, okay, then that's the job of the day is just to sit there for however long and just be with.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get past the idea that this is unpleasant, once you're open to the possibility that it's actually neutral, then you can actually shift into that other state of awareness, which is welcoming, and that right there is something that 99.9% of humanity will not do.
Yeah. I've been releasing. Oh, yeah. Because I've been doing the Sedona, yeah, a lot of releasing different ways, loving myself more. Yeah, so I have. I just this morning I just felt like I could use the extra support. And,
Right, of
uh,
course.
yeah, yeah, but that's some great ways to look at it. That's really, really helpful.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. What's being felt right now?
Um, there's some sensations, but I'm looking at them kind of like you said, more neutrally, like, okay, it's just a sensation. And if if it goes away, okay, great. And if it stays and if I feel it tomorrow, then, that's okay too. It does get tiring at times. Um, yeah,
Let's look at that.
just,
That's interesting what you said. It does get tiring at times.
yeah, trying to deal with, manage, support my body in whatever way I can.
Deal with, manage. What I'm going to propose to you is it's the resistance that is tiring. The resistance
Oh my
that you feel.
gosh. Oh my gosh. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you just told me that you've reached a neutrality, right? You have a sense that it doesn't have to be good or bad.
Right.
I encourage you to experiment with that other option, which is to welcome it, to savor it, to gobble it all up. It takes a little imagination, but what if that's the most delicious sensation that you could possibly feel?
Okay.
Doesn't have to make sense,
Right.
right? But play with that and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
Great.
I will. Thank you so much. I
Nice
appreciate
to
that.
see you. Nice to see
Good
you.
good to see you as well. Thank you.
Okay. Gonna lower your hand and I'm going to say hi to Lawrence. You can unmute when you're ready, Lawrence.
Hello,
Yep.
Stephen.
There you go.
Yeah, you have an very interesting way of pronouncing the names. I've never heard anyone say it quite like that before.
You mean your name, Lawrence?
Yeah. No, the way you just said it was slightly different. Anyway, yeah. So, Stephen, good to see you.
Good to see you too. What's on your heart? What can we do today?
Um, I'm I've been noticing that for, say, since some time, that it feels as though my mind is constantly racing.
Mm.
This constant thinking about stuff, mostly about the future. And it somehow seems that there's a nearly constant state of agitation,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing I can really, no technique or releasing meditation, or there's nothing I seem to be able to do to calm it down.
Okay.
And so that really, really, it's almost agonizing somehow.
Mm.
And yeah, that's that's what's on my mind.
There's something going on in the background. That sounds like something.
It was just a dog that barked. It was really close, and I didn't see it, so I was scared for a moment, like startled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard it too. So let me just,
So yeah,
what you're saying is there's a lot of anxiety.
it's more like it's more clinging or craving.
Clinging or craving what?
Yeah. So like all these thoughts about the future, like I want this in the future, but I don't. It's not here now. It's like there's this constant sense of dissatisfaction, and the mind is just looking like in 10 different directions. What to do, what to get, whatever. It's like
Mm-hmm.
agitated in that way. I mean, I'm sure there's anxiety too, but like on the surface, it seems to be more this wanting, not being whole, and the racing mind.
Right. So agitation, racing mind.
Yeah,
Okay. Is that happening right now?
yeah.
Okay. And so,
And I can also feel on the physical level there's this pain that goes with it somehow. Like,
which of the two is stronger, do you think, the mind or the body? I mean, I'm talking about
well, if the body felt great, then probably the thoughts wouldn't be such an issue.
well,
It seems to be, yeah.
let's work on the level of the body then. Just
It's kind of like a circle, like it's like,
say it again, a circle?
yeah, it's kind of a cycle, like,
Cycle.
like
Yeah.
kind of like this. Yeah.
Well, let's work on the level of the body. If
Okay.
you're willing. So just notice what's
I'm
happening.
willing. Yeah.
Yeah. Have a look around with a little curiosity at how the body is reacting.
Yeah. Pain.
And where is that taking place?
Mostly the solar plexus, the temples.
Mm-hmm.
The solar plexus is the strongest, and it's actually a kind of pain that I've almost never, in this way, like it's unfamiliar. Like there's a certain, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, how intensely does that show up?
7, 8,
7.
7.
7, 8. Can you
Yeah.
invite up 8? Is 8 available?
Yes. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. And so notice that you've given this an explanation, right? So the mind is saying it's all about this, that, or the other.
Yes. Yeah.
What if it's nice? And would you be open to the possibility that it has no connection whatsoever?
Oh, it's possible. Well, it has to be connected to something.
Does it?
I don't know. I mean, can't
Why?
something has to cause this.
Really?
Surely.
Well, so if that's the thought that something has to cause this, then
Mhm.
doesn't that put the mind to work?
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to keep the mind occupied, that's okay as well. But
Well, but the mind says it's the mind's thinking that's causing this, and then it just loops.
maybe it's a better way to say it. Maybe there's a connection between what the body is experiencing and what the mind is experiencing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There is a connection, but it's not. Yeah.
But again, notice that it's you who have given this meaning.
Yes. That's true. Yeah.
Well, if you've given this meaning, then you can also let go of that meaning. Would you be willing?
Yes.
And when?
Now.
And so what's happening in the body is what's happening in the body. Could you just give that permission to be like that? Just for now.
With no meaning. Yeah.
Sure. The body does
Okay.
all
Yeah.
kinds
Yes.
of things. You don't necessarily
Yes.
understand it.
Yes. And yeah, and there's some attachment coming up that there's a problem to solve.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
and
Like I need to figure out something. It's like,
what is that? That's the mind, isn't it?
yes.
Well, so the mind is standing by ready to help, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's helpful. Could you, well, if you see how willing the mind is to help, would it be okay just to be gratitude, to feel gratitude, to be thankful?
Yes. It's very, very willing. Yeah. All the time.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It has a lot of energy to put into this effort.
Yes.
Oh, what a wonderful partner. How committed.
Uh-huh.
Right. Committed to what? Committed to your,
Helping. Yeah.
it's trying to help, right?
No.
Okay. Let's go back into
Trying
the
to
body.
fix.
Trying to fix you. That is, of course, the trap. I think you see where I'm going, don't you?
Yeah.
Right. So let's just drop back into the body and just notice the body
Okay.
being the body, right?
Yes.
The body's always feeling something.
Yeah.
Is it good or is it bad, what's being felt?
It's unpleasant.
But have a closer look. When you say unpleasant, isn't that just a judgment? Does it really have to be good or bad? Or
No, I think it could be regarded as without the judgment.
it's what we were talking about with Mary just now. It's an intensity of sensation. Does that feel true?
Yeah. Yes.
So the body feels things and it feels it intensely. And then we choose, mostly based on habit, really. We choose to interpret this as good, as bad. So if you chose the interpretation as unpleasant, couldn't you just change your mind? What if that's actually a wonderful thing to feel that way? Would you be open to that as a possibility or even as a plaything?
No.
Nope. Okay, fine. That's also good. So notice also there's a resistance there as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, that resistance is trying to help you, you see?
Yeah.
So could you welcome it? Could you feel the gratitude?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now let's just check back into the body. Just notice what's happening there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how intensely are things showing up?
Yeah, still 7, 8-ish. Like, but the feeling has changed a bit. It's like there's more anger,
Anger.
and less pain.
So,
So like when you said, what if it's wonderful? Like the part of anger arose, and
mhm.
there's
So could,
now the pain is coming back slowly.
uh-huh. So notice the anger. Could you actually turn the focus on that for a moment and welcome it? In my experience, anger is actually a good thing or a good sign, because anger is more fluid. It's more active.
Yeah.
So could you open even further, invite that energy? Invite it to come up here as
I can, yeah.
however it shows up. Yeah. Mm. And let's just check again. Your intensity was 7, 8. Where is it now?
8.5, 9.
Oh, okay then. Could you welcome up a full 9? Could you really allow that to be here? And I think it's also important to say, not forever, but just for now.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's
I can, yeah.
there's a little trap that we sometimes experience around emotion in the body, which is the idea that it will be here forever. But it's never here forever.
Yeah.
Just for now, do you give that permission? Could you actually give the body permission to feel exactly as it does for as long as it does? Just really open up. Could you?
Yes.
And would you?
Oh,
Oh,
Yes or no is equally okay, by the way. But would you?
I would.
And when?
Now.
Yeah. And don't forget to breathe. So let's just check. What's here now?
Sensation. Intense. Sensation.
Exactly. And so what? Are you open to
Mm-hmm.
so what?
Yeah. It kind of it resonates with the anger.
Mhm. You know, I'm going to ask you, does that feel like a good place to stop for now? I know that we haven't reached empty, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we don't always do that in one go.
Yeah. We probably, yeah, because like there's still like this thing that, oh, I have to quiet the mind, but that's just more noise. So
Well, let's look at that for just a
yeah.
second. I have to fight
Yeah.
the mind. Of course, the mind is always willing to fight, right?
I can only be content if the mind's quiet. Yeah.
Could you say that again?
I can only be content if the mind is quiet, and it's never quiet.
It's never quiet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what helps is the perspective that the mind is truly trying to contribute, trying to help, trying to protect.
Yeah.
If you can see that, then just notice how things shift.
Yeah. Thank it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That right there actually quiets the mind.
I didn't say, wow, what's going on? It's not quiet here.
Well, when we're dealing with mental agitation, the most natural thing in the world is, oh, make it stop.
Yeah. 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 You just,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. But I think you can see that what that does is actually intensifies it. That's the resistance. That's what makes us
Yeah.
exhausted. Mm. On the other hand, the recognition, the mind is trying to help. It's putting a lot of energy and resources into this effort. When you see that and turn towards that with gratitude, that actually quiets things. What a fantastic helper. What a dedicated friend, willing to devote so much time, so much energy into what it thinks
And
is going to help.
yeah. And things that also helps is like you imagine stuff in the future that you want. And
Sure. Yeah.
and then but actually you're getting agitated imagining it,
Right.
but you don't have it or you might not get it or something. That's also like kind of helping attempt.
Of course, yeah. The mind is always ready to try.
Yeah. It thinks that it will somehow by focusing on the thing you will get the thing and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh,
There's a very important shift when you regard it as an ally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Lovely. Thanks for
Yeah.
stepping up. Yeah.
Lovely talking to you, Steven. See you
Good
soon.
to see you again, sir.
Take care.
Oh, your hand there. And Bertrand, would you like to unmute and say hello?
Yeah, hello, Steven. How are you?
Very good. Nice to hear your voice.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting this. And yeah, I've been studying the Sedona for about a year and doing some quizzing. And I feel I've made a lot of progress, but I'm faced with one, what I would call a challenge now in terms of how to introduce or embed Sedona method in my, let's say, day-to-day routine. How do I go about really embedding Sedona into my day-to-day life? Do I kind of adapt the routine, some stuff that I will be doing in the morning, some stuff that I'll be doing in the evening, some stuff that I during the day? How do I go about that? Because when I was still studying, I would like maybe read a chapter every morning, do some audio, listen to some audio documents on that, and it will kind of bring me inside the subject. But now that I'm finished that study part and that I'm, so to speak, on my own, yeah, I'm feeling a bit of challenge in terms of how to continue to kind of really embed the method in my day-to-day routine and my day-to-day life, so to continue to progress in releasing. And
Excellent.
that's, yeah.
Excellent question. So you've been at this for a year, roughly, you said.
Yeah.
A
Mhm.
lot of people, when they come across the Sedona method, have a very similar experience.
Mhm.
They have some shifts, some experiences. They let go of this or that, and they see the effectiveness. And what happens then is, oh, well, this is perfect. So now I'm really going to double down and make this part of my life. And that's where you arrive. Yeah?
Yeah.
There is, however, a hidden trap here.
Okay.
And that's, oh, I invite you to see this. There's a certain kind of a pushing involved in that, right? Do you see what I'm saying? A kind of wanting to control. I really have to make this work, right?
Mm.
And when that happens, very often what people will tell me is, oh, I've been releasing nonstop and it's not working anymore. Yeah?
Mhm.
So you see what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Your desire to work with the method it's a very natural thing. I invite you. Well, what happened in my experience was that I began to notice the wanting in real time. Well, in other words, here in this conversation, we could say that, for example, oh, now I'm trying to be persuasive, so I want to control how my message is being received. Now I'm trying to play the coach role and I'm looking for the approval of the participants in the call. I'm just giving examples, but you see that in the moment, you can simply notice how these kinds of desires come up. And that itself is actually a very powerful practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
Um,
sense.
and I remind you that letting go is actually the most natural thing. It's our default. We come into this world letting go. All right. Children in the moment will react. We have to teach them not to do that. Right. So, in other words, you don't have to learn this. You already know it very well. Each and every one of us on the call, anybody who's hearing, knows how to let go. It's just incorporating the method into your daily life is really more about noticing.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that helpful?
It is more definitely. Yeah, maybe another specific point is about the goal. I have a goal. I have a goal statement, and I'm doing some releasing on the goal and on the action steps as well.
Mm.
I mean, I'm trying. I'm not sure. I'm
Okay.
trying best that I can do. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right or wrong. You will tell me that there is no right, there is no wrong. And yes, any maybe specific advice on that
But tell me your
topic?
goal. Tell
Particularly,
me your goal statement, please.
my goal assessment is that actually I had a couple of them, but I have decided to focus on just one for now.
Mm.
And my goal goes like I allow myself to enjoy owning businesses that earns me 2 million euros or more a year with ease. So this is my goal statement.
Okay. So
Yeah.
can you just say that one more time?
I allow myself to enjoy owning businesses that earns me 2 million euros or more a year with ease.
Mhm. Okay. Let me ask you, does that feel realistic? Does that feel natural? Does that feel, does
Yes,
that feel natural?
yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, it's an appropriate statement.
Mhm.
I would be tempted to look at the number and ask, is that realistic? It might be enough just to say, I enjoy owning businesses with positive cash flow. But if 2 million feels appropriate, then it feels appropriate. That's okay too. The
Mhm.
point is that
Mm.
the letting go around the goal statement is that it feel natural, easy.
Mm. Mhm.
And so it sounds like you're moving in the right direction for that. Would you
I
agree?
think I mean, I would say I feel with what I'm already doing, what I'm planning, and how I'm seeing things go the one after the others. I feel that I'm on the right track. Yeah.
2 thumbs up. That's the reality check when it comes to your goals.
Mhm.
Does it feel natural? Does it feel appropriate? Yeah. A lot of us will come up with goals that just seem, you know, they seem unrealistic in the beginning. And sometimes it's more appropriate to take smaller steps.
Mhm.
But if that feels appropriate and it feels realistic and it feels natural, then it's an appropriate goal statement. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, thank you very much. The idea of starting to notice as life flows, so to speak, notice and then releasing on it, I think it's a good approach in terms of embedding it in
Hmm.
day-to-day life.
Let me just say one more little piece about this because the Sedona method has evolved over time. I think you must be aware of that. In the beginning, it was these, could you let it go? Would you, when? That was the basic. And it's evolved more towards welcoming.
Okay.
Now, all of these all of the pieces of the Sedona method, which you can find in the book, which you're finding on the recordings, which you're being taught, all of this is appropriate. All of this
Mhm.
is useful.
Mhm.
Um, I and many other people find welcoming to be an even more useful tool, I think, than releasing.
Yeah.
Welcoming and releasing are the same thing. I wonder if you can see that.
Yes, in the sense that kind of mm, noticing and removing resistance so that what is or what is to be just yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
even the idea of removing resistance,
Mhm.
obviously that can happen.
Mhm.
But if you're working to remove resistance, then you're actually trying to control it. Whereas if
Mhm.
you open to resistance, welcome resistance, you see,
Okay.
the feeling itself naturally,
Mhm.
here's a little bit bigger picture that may make it fall into place for you.
Mhm.
Naturally,
It's-
what we feel happens in the body and passes through. That's the natural way
Mhm.
emotion is expressed.
Mhm.
And very often you'll hear me say, have you ever seen a storm that lasts forever?
Mhm.
Because obviously, there's a beginning and there's an end. It's a natural process.
Mhm.
But if your boss says something to you and it makes you angry and you express the anger in the moment,
Mhm.
that could be a problem. You might lose your job, right? So
Yeah.
as adults, we learn not to express. We learn to put the feeling somewhere else because it's not
Mhm.
appropriate for right here and right now.
Mhm.
And that is how we get stuck growing up.
Mhm. Mhm.
The natural expression, however, is whatever I feel
Mhm.
is energy on the way out. And so allowing
Mhm.
opens the door for that. That's all.
Mhm.
So allowing really truly is releasing, but it also contains less of that wanting to control.
Okay.
That's the
Okay. Yeah.
difference right there.
Mhm. Yeah. And this exchange make me think about something that experienced not far, uh, not long ago. Like it was a period I was not feeling that well, and then it will calm down, and it will come, and it will calm down until I noticed that maybe the problem was that I was trying to resist that, so to speak, bad feeling as soon as it was trying to come. When I noticed that, I just relaxed and say, okay, I'm not feeling that bad. Let it be. And it passed, and then it disappears. So this is where I started to really understand what you are doing about, you are saying about welcoming and just, yeah.
Exactly. Bertrand, you understood it. Yes.
Mhm.
Perfect. Anything else I can help you with or any other question?
No, that was it. That was what was on my mind for today. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for stepping up and thank you for your question. By the way, it's wonderful to see somebody who's relatively new to the method, 1 year, experiencing terrific gains. Thank you for sharing that as well.
Thank you.
Great. I'm going to put your hand down here. Hope you've done that yourself. And there we go. So, we're nearing the end of the call. I'm still open to anybody else who would like to ask for support, ask a question, share a game. I have a couple other things to share as well. Well, one is simple. I do work with people one-on-one. And so if anybody feels inspired, contact me through WhatsApp or, oh, suddenly I see a hand coming.
Or you can finish your sentence.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So just hit me up on WhatsApp or
Yeah.
Facebook and we can talk about that in terms of one-on-one support. But now we're talking group support with Senway. Ready for you.
Well, your opening was just like Mary had said, was very fitting, and I guess is exactly kind of what I'm experiencing right now. I've had a lot of wonderful gains, and have used releasing to really help in many aspects of my life, for my health, which has been, I've had a miracle recovery from that. I also have had very successful gains in my companies, and financially, etc. And even one of my cats that had, I guess, got lost and was missing for like 60 days, and I released to the point where I finally was able to release all the heartache from that, and then and then he just showed up back at home 60 days later, and all skinny, and had lost so much weight and must have been stuck somewhere. I have no idea what his adventure was, but very thankful to have him home. And now I don't know, have a lot of, I literally, the last few days, this week has been just so many ups and downs, almost feels unstable. I got really great news, followed by the exact opposite, followed by another really great thing, followed by exactly the opposite. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like schizophrenic, and it's just all over the place. And and then one of my other little cats, she's gone. She's been gone for 3 nights now. And and I'm thinking to myself, like, well, I've released on this before. Maybe this is just a releasing exercise for me. And um, yet, honestly, my heart hurts, and I'm feeling very vulnerable and almost like a victim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Victim to what? Like, I know and I can tell that I'm trying to control it. So I'm trying to let that go. And I realize that, you know, we are creators, yet right now I don't feel like a creator. I feel very like the wind is controlling my everything.
Right. Well, that's an excellent place to start. So what you've just said, life has all different kinds of changes, good and bad, surprises, challenges. Just notice how you feel about all of this, right?
Tired.
Yes. Right. So let's just check and see. Notice how your mind is reacting to all of it. Notice any stories, memories, images. Notice the body's react.
Yes.
And let's just check, is any of this actually you?
No.
So just for now, could you rest as that? Just notice the thought, the memory, the story, the feelings in the body, the reaction.
Yes.
And just allow that all to be as it is. Is it going to be like that exactly the same way tomorrow?
I don't know. I feel like it's been like that yesterday and today.
Oh, it feels like forever. I understand. Yeah. Sometimes it feels like forever. It's always going to be that way. Is the sense of it?
Yes.
Mm.
I was trying to let go what was coming up from her being gone, and thought, she'll be here the next morning. Like there's one other time or a couple of other times where, actually, I guess it's only one other time. And she was waiting the next morning like, oh, I don't know, I was out all night, but here I am. And I feel like am I letting go to try to control it so she comes back, or can I just let go of having this attachment to her? And then once that happened, then all of a sudden it started affecting my business. I'm like, okay, obviously I'm holding on to something and I'm holding all these feelings in, and it's now starting to affect other areas of my life, because how we do anything is how we do everything. And so then I had all this up and down stuff happening with my business. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I had a deal that literally it closed, and they sent over the contract. And then I literally, at that same day, like hours later, they said, oh, we made a mistake. We can't do this after all. So it's just interesting that it goes from, oh, here, you can have it. Nope, sorry, you can't have it. And then another deal falls in my lap. And I'm like, okay. But then this other thing happens, and it's just,
Mm.
I feel like the rug keeps being pulled out from underneath me.
Mhm.
The disappointment.
Mhm. Could you open to that disappointment?
Yes.
Yeah. And really just give it permission. Nobody really wants to feel disappointed, but just for now, can you actually welcome it?
Yes.
Mm.
Uh,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how intensely does it show up?
And
10. That's excellent. So just sit with that for a moment, and just as best you can, could you give it permission to be like that?
yes, it makes me very sad.
And would you give it permission to be like
Yeah. Yes.
that? And when?
No.
Yeah. And as you said, sadness is coming up as well.
Yes.
Hmm. Is that welcome? Is sadness allowed? Is that what's apparently happening?
Yes.
Hmm. And since it's apparently happening, would you allow it give it even more permission to be like that?
Yes.
And breathe. Just notice how it expresses.
Yes.
And then when you're ready, can you find the one who feels that way?
No.
Right. So is sadness allowed?
Yes.
Hmm. Is it good or bad?
No.
Hmm. Do you give it permission?
Yes. I had this feeling like I feel kind of dumb. Because here I am. I feel like I handled my brain tumor so much better. Like, I wasn't scared. I wasn't, I was just like, okay, I guess if God's ready to take me, that's fine. I literally learned to walk again, learned to write my name again, did all that. I mean, they didn't even think I was going to be able to walk. And I wasn't near as scared, I feel like, than I am right now with my cat.
The brain tumor is one thing, but we draw the line at the cat. Does it have to make sense?
No. And I even thought about, like, wow, I released so much on when whiskey was gone, and and he came back after 60 days, and I really didn't even expect that. I was so excited and ecstatic and surprised. And I thought, and I'm thinking, okay, just release on it because, Whiskey made it back. And for whatever reason, I have all this fear around her not coming back. And I don't want to create that. But like I said, I just feel like, okay, I got through Whiskey, I got through a brain tumor, I got through 5 brain surgeries, can handle all that. But what the heck? These last 2 days have been miserable.
Okay. Well, just notice how you feel about that cat. Could you allow yourself to feel how much you love that creature?
Yes.
Yes. Isn't that the heart of it? Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Could you allow yourself to feel that or allow that feeling to be? It's here anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. Does it have to make sense?
No.
So notice the feeling of love. And then notice also the other heavy feelings. I don't know what you want to call that. Missing the cat. So just notice how much you miss her, him.
Yeah, it's like I guess fear's coming up. It's fear around, like, I must have forgotten how to release. I don't know. All this stuff's happening with my company, with my business, with my cat, with my, like, what's next?
Right. Notice also the mind is trying to figure all this out, right?
Yes.
Could you just let go of wanting to figure it out?
Yes.
And would you?
Yes.
Right.
No.
And just for now, could you give it all permission to be like this, just as messy as it
Yes.
seems to be?
Yes.
Yeah. And that fear has to do with the possibility of losing this cat, this connection. Would you agree?
Yes.
So isn't that also an expression of love?
Yes.
Could you allow and welcome that feeling?
Yes.
And then the fear. Could you open to that as well?
Yes.
The love.
Yes.
And the fear.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
and could you welcome them both, the fear and the love, at the same time?
Yes.
And can you find where the fear ends and the love begins, where the love ends and the fear begins?
No.
Mm-hmm. So could you welcome them even more? Just open and allow it all to expand.
Yes.
Yeah. And you'll notice that the fear is melting into love.
Yes.
and more.
Yes.
And does any of this have to make sense?
No.
And what if even this is whole, complete, and enough, just like that, just for now?
Right. Yes.
And is the rest, is that which is whole, complete, and enough, just like the
There's resistance there. I'm like, it's not okay.
yeah. So resistance. Is resistance trying to help?
Yes.
Is that welcome?
Yes.
And when you think of that little cat, what comes up for you?
That I hope she's okay, and I hope she finds her way back home.
I think everybody on the call shares that wish for you and your cat.
Never even been a cat person. She was just a rescue, but I love her.
Did she rescue you?
She actually did. Somebody stole my dog, and I found her the day that I was looking for the dog.
Mm-hmm. Well then. It sounds like that cat knows what it's doing. Yeah. Hmm. How does that feel for now, suddenly?
Much lighter. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Right. Good to hear. Would that be enough for now?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Well, okay. I'm still open to anything else that comes up if somebody wants to raise their hand. We'll give it a minute or two and see what comes. Oh, and one more thing to share. I've been playing with artificial intelligence, with AI, and I created an AI which is meant to approximate my coaching style. In other words, it really is meant to be present, openness. It can actually facilitate. It's at least trained in all of this. And it's an experiment. I'm going to post this link into the WhatsApp chat. Can't say these words. And probably also on Facebook as well. And if you feel inspired, you can play with it and let me know what you think. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I think that feels like the natural end of the call. See you all again next week or when you next choose to arrive. So, going to stop the recording.